I'm Jake Bruton, and today on The Build Show, I want to talk to you about why we partnered T-studs with Zip-R, because don't they kind of do the same thing? Let's do it now. Okay, so when we talk about our insulation package and our framing package, on this house, we immediately went to let's use Zip-R and T-studs in conjunction with each other, just like we did at, say, the Hilltop house, because we like those results. And the first thing that happened when I posted something about this was somebody said, well, doesn't the T-stud do the same thermal break thing that the Zip-R does? Kind of. You're right, it kind of does. So let's talk about why I'm not terribly concerned about it and why we still choose to spend a little bit of upgraded cash on both of these things. Number one, when it comes to the Zip-R, we have thermal, air, and water all in one system with one manufacturer and one warranty managing all that on the outside of our house, and we get a continuous R value, meaning this R6 is actually rated in the final assembly as an R value of 6. Any of the insulation that goes in the stud cavity is stud cavity with the studs taken into conjunction with it. So the stud might be an R6 or whatever. If it were a regular 2x6, R5, and so then that section is an R5, and this section's an R21. So the two, they're not 21, they're less than 21. So that continuous on the outside that is unbroken gets us our full R6 R value, bumping the wall by R6. So that's why we stick with the R6. That's why we stick with it with the zip sheathing, because it's that one trip around the house sort of product. We love it. We know we can trust it. The T-studs reduce that thermal bridge in what would normally be a 2x6 by, I think they say something in the 90% range. And that's amazing. It cuts down on the thermal bridge that's feeding to the R6, so it helps assist the R6 be a higher quality product, because if that were just a regular 2x6, that thermal bridge would get all the way to the back side of the zip sheathing, and then we would have, or to the polyiso on the zip sheathing, sorry, and we would have a little bit of a bridge there still. If you looked at it on an IR camera on the outside without siding on, you probably could still see where it is. By using this, we cut that down by whatever they say the percentage is, 98 or something percent, I forget. But that's not the only thing. We get an upgraded R value out of the stud then too, because we can get insulation in that opening. We now have put more insulation in the cavities, upgrading our R value. So that's number two. And then number three, for us, in our market today, in the national market, I should say, quality lumber is more difficult to come by. We're ordering more traditional dimensional lumber, and we're culling more of it, we're sending more of it back, and in reality, we're getting more that's been to somebody else's job site already, and they've already rejected too. So this is becoming more of a challenge day to day. This stuff, they're buying smaller members, you know, this is a 2x3 instead of a 2x4, or a 2x3 instead of a 2x6. We're able to get a little bit higher quality wood, and we're able to get something that has been racked into a machine and straightened, then glued and doweled together, so that when we get these out, there's almost no cull process. So traditionally, on like a kitchen wall or a cabinet wall, because there's cabinets going behind me here, we would switch to an LSL or an LVL stud, because we're looking for something that's dead straight, or we would cull through a ton of finger jointed studs. Now we have one product that we can rely on to be reasonably straight and substantially more straight than traditional framing lumber as a whole. So we have upgraded insulation on the outside for continuous insulation. It raises the condensation point of the wall. It pushes it further out where we're not worried about it. We have an upgraded insulation package with the T-studs. We have a higher quality of material, and we have a straighter wall assembly. That's a lot of little arguments that lead to, let's spend a little bit more money, let's spend a little bit more money, and let's build a healthier, more comfortable, more efficient, more durable house for our clients. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter for the Build Show Network. There are 2 a week. There are too many videos going up that you'll miss them if you don't get the newsletter. I do if I don't take my time to read the newsletter. I'm really happy that they let me be involved. I'm really proud of the stuff that the Build Show Network's putting out, not just my stuff, but everybody else's content. I love watching it, and I learn from everybody every week. I'm really happy they let me be involved. Don't forget to follow me on the Unbuild It podcast. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's jake.bruton. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good day.